All right, guys. So, if you've never heard of Ivan Pavlov, you probably didn't study psychology in school. But for those of you who don't understand who he is, in the 1800s, he was a very well-known physiologist that's now considered to be the one of the founders of behavioral psychology. And his teachings, his findings, and his famous classical conditioning experiment that he ran, that I'm going to talk about in a moment, is part of the foundation of modern day psychology. And so he ran this experiment with dogs. And basically what he did is he gave them a piece of meat, and he, of course, saw that the dogs would salivate before they got the piece of meat, because that's what dogs do, right? They see meat, they salivate, they want the meat. And so he called that an unconditioned response. It's just a natural response for the animal, for the dog. People have these too. We have unconditioned responses, things that we just do naturally by virtue of being human beings, right? And by virtue of that dog being a dog, he sees a piece of meat, he salivates, he wants it. That's an unconditioned response. And then he took a bell, and he would ring the bell. He started ringing the bell every time he gave the dog a piece of meat. And so what he ended up doing is he found that when he took away the meat and just rang the bell, that the dog would still salivate. So he effectively trained the dog to salivate based on pairing the stimulus together. So the one stimulus of the meat he paired with the what they call the conditioned stimulus, which was the bell. He rang the bell, gave the dog the meat, he would salivate. Took away the meat, rang the bell, the dog associated the bell with the meat, and so he started salivating, thinking that the meat was coming. So where I'm going with all this is that the same thing applies in marketing, in internet marketing, digital marketing. A lot of people miss this. You have to think about your branding and how you become memorable in the market at large. So when you're promoting ads, when you're putting out Facebook ads, Google ads, video ads, or whatever the case is, or TV ads for larger brands, you're creating a feeling, you're creating a memory, you're creating an impression upon that person. And if you're good at what you're doing in advertising, you are stirring emotion. Now, what you want to do is you want to stir positive emotion, and you want people to associate your brand with positive emotions in the same way that Pavlov associated the bell with the meat. When people see your logo, you don't want them to think, ugh. You want them to think, oh yeah, Geico, it's that company with the cute little green thing. Or McDonald's, yeah. I mean, I might get fat if I eat too much of it, but I love their French fries. Yummy. They want you to associate positive thoughts and emotions with their brands. And you have to do the same thing. You have to be aware of how you're making people feel and think about your brand. And how do you do that? Well, everything that you put out is fuel. Your content is fuel. Your website is fuel. Your advertising online and even offline is the fuel, and how you're creating that impression in the market about your brand, and whether or not you're creating that impression, keeping yourselves top of mind in that person's mind, so to speak. So you want to keep this in mind. And what I'm seeing happening often especially with small businesses, small business owners, or even marketers that don't really understand marketing or even psychology on this level of understanding some of the foundations of actual psychology and how it applies to marketing. Because it does. Marketing and psychology go hand in hand. And so when it comes to Pavlov, if you understand the classic conditioning, you understand that, it sounds, may not think it sounds good, but you're conditioning the consumer. You're conditioning the market. They're getting conditioned. Every time they see your brand, see an ad, see your website, maybe they see a review, positive or negative, about your company, or they see a post on social media, or they see what you're doing or not doing in the community, or if they're hearing news but it's not favorable news, everything positive or for the negative is going to have some impact on your brand reputation and how, if you're memorable, and how you're memorable for the right things, and what emotions are people associating your brand with. So, again, you have to remember that as you're putting out, again, this is why, brands like Geico will have the cute little green thing. That's why, there's Jake from State Farm. Everybody knows Jake from State Farm, right? Come on, everybody knows that guy. Everybody knows him. If you know Jake from State Farm, hit comments and put a comment down below. See that? I'm giving free advertising for State Farm, and I'm not being paid by State Farm. I'm not an affiliate. I don't even think they have an affiliate program or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? But you get the point. You know what I mean? So, and you don't feel like, even though State Farm is not my insurance company, because I'm pretty sure they're more expensive than the other ones in Florida, but I digress. I don't think anything really negative about that brand. I trust the brand. You understand? I trust them, but they're not my insurance company because I've done the research, and they're not the cheap. I don't believe they're the cheapest in Florida. Now I'm probably going to have to go and check, but you see what I'm saying? And again, McDonald's is there. If I need or want McDonald's one day, I can have McDonald's. Now, it's been probably 2 months since I had any McDonald's because, it's McDonald's, and I'm trying to be a healthy person. But everybody knows if you're trying to be a healthy person, you probably don't want to eat McDonald's. But they're everywhere. If you don't have a lot of money, you might eat McDonald's because you don't have a lot of choices. It's unfortunate that healthier food is more expensive, so you might go to McDonald's. Their value proposition is cheap, fast, and tasty. Cheap, fast, and tasty. If I were making a value proposition for McDonald's, it would be cheap, fast, tasty. Do you eat McDonald's? If you eat McDonald's, put a comment down below. It helps with the algorithms if you hit the comments. By the way, subscribe, like the video, because I'm going to release more ridiculous videos like this in the future. But no, seriously, did you know about Pavlov? I want to know, put that in the comments. I do want to know about that. Do you know about, have you heard about Pavlov? If you studied psychology, damn straight you heard about Pavlov. He's like the one thing I remember about psychology. I went to school, Montclair State University in New Jersey, and one of the things I remember is Pavlov. I studied psychology. I have a degree in psychology. I'll never forget about Pavlov and the dogs, because it was that profound, and he really is the basis for behavioral psychology. There's a reason for that. There's a reason why psychologists and psychiatrists base a lot of their methods, their behavioral, cognitive behavioral programs based on people like Pavlov's research from over 200 years ago, because it still applies to modern day psychology and also now modern day marketing and now the internet. Because again, you're going to make people feel a certain way. If you make people feel good or bad, they're going to remember either of those things. If you screw somebody, they're probably going to remember that. If you treat somebody really good, they're going to remember that too. If you made somebody laugh, they might actually remember that as well. You want more over here, people laughing, smiling, seeing ads that make them at least, maybe make them think, make them smile, make them trust you. Again, going back to the Geico example, it's just a little green animated thing saying save money on your car insurance. I could have said save money on your car insurance, but people are they rather watch the animated green thing than me. It's when I see Geico come on with a new commercial, I sit and I watch because I want to know what the little green thing is going to do next. By the way, Geico is my insurance company. I was in a car accident here in South Florida twice, because the drivers they're amazing, best drivers in the United States here in South Florida. So But they were there. I mean, man, they were on it like white on rice. I had the Geico insurance lady on conference call, because the police officer was questioning my insurance for some reason. Like, for some reason in the system, because I had just gotten the car a couple weeks prior, for some reason the system didn't reflect the insurance properly. And the Geico lady I had on the conference call in the car, talking to the police officer, confirming that I had the right insurance and that it was valid and active on that time in my accident situation. Thank God that she was there on the phone. So they are actually a very good company. I'm pretty sure they're the cheapest, or one of the cheapest, at least in Florida. Anyway, that's my Geico testimonial. See, now you're probably going to go buy Geico. Why? Because I'm social proof. Because I just told you my story about Geico. Legitimate story, no bullshit. They're not paying me anything. But now you're probably going to end up going and getting Geico. As you should. Why not? I've had a few insurance companies, and I don't see any reason to change. Unless I find someone cheaper, then I probably will change. If I find it cheaper, I'm not going to lie. Again, it's one of those things. Like, I won't say anything bad about Geico, but if I find a cheaper insurance company, I'm gonna switch it. That's just the way it is. So sometimes, it's price driven. The market is price driven. Sometimes the market is driven by other things. You have to treat your customers the right way. But then you also have to price things out properly. Again, that's why. But anyway. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon and click it. You hit the bell and then you put all, because you want to see all my videos when they come out. Because if you don't, you're going to miss something really important, like Pavlov. I'm also going to be doing a SEO tarot card reading soon. SEO tarot card reading. Where do you see that? I'm not serious. Oh, maybe I'm serious. We'll see. So anyway, hope you guys enjoy the video. One day I'll have a real studio. Gas. Oh God, it's gas. One day I'll have a real studio, and I'll record ads in. Well, this isn't an ad. This is just a video I'm posting. I'll record videos in an actual studio. So just wait until that happens. I know you guys will love it. So anyway, guys, see you in the next video.